Welcome, welcome, everybody, back to the SBENU Star League here on Thursdays. My name is Valdez. Joining with me is Moonlay today once again. How are you doing?
Once again, Valdez, I am doing fantastically. We've already had a great week here at the Next Arena doing both Pro League days, and now it's into the Star League, the individual leagues. And we got some great players here today. Dream, HyuN, Classic, and Sulky.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to lose that one the last guy, but you
Almost
got it today, Moonlay.
Yeah, I'm on top of this stuff today, man.
I know you're ready.
I like drink my coffee seconds before the cast. I won't be falling asleep for at least a few more minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it all in now, Valdez. Quickly.
I got to inject you with adrenaline to get you back up. Like, no one actually sees this on cast, but it definitely happens.
Do whatever we want up here, man.
But yeah, today's a great group. I'm really excited to get into this one. A good mix. You got Protoss, Terran, and Zerg in there. You got two Zergs. I know that makes you happy.
It always makes me happy, and they're in both matches to start things off. So we get to ease into it with some pretty interesting games. HyuN versus Dream to start things off. That's a dangerous match for HyuN, and then we're going to finish off with a Classic versus Sulky. And that's also going to be very interesting considering we've seen a lot of interesting results coming from Kesper Cup recently. Yeah, so I'm very excited for today, Valdez.
Yeah, I really wanted to get into this thing. TVZ to start things off, as you said, Dream versus HyuN. What are your predictions for today, Moonblade? Who do you think are the two players who are going to get out?
Today, actually, I think we're going to see Dream and Sulky get out today. Yeah.
I'm close. I think Dream's going to get through, but I think Classic's got a decent chance as well.
He has a chance, that's for sure. He is the other strong player in this group. It really comes down to those three. HyuN, he's like a little bit of a league below. He's a fantastic player.
Yeah. He's the big dark horse in this one.
Yeah, he's the dark horse, and he's got a lot of stuff going on as well, which we'll get into when we get to his match. A lot of stuff to say about where he's been recently and what he's been doing, which can come into play today.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Lots of tournaments these days. Players flying all over the world trying to get that money, trying to get that fame.
Trying to get that esports dollars, man, before it all dries up. You know, you got to get out there and just get it.
This dead game is not going to last forever. You can't keep pumping adrenaline into this one.
You know, at least another 6 months before everything goes down. So you better get in there quick. That's too much. Joking, of course, guys. We're going to be around for years.
Yeah, man. This train is never stopping, actually. We're going to be 60 years old.
We're walking that thin line, Vels. Was that too far? Or was
no, it was fine.
That was just enough.
I loved it, Mingway. It was good.
Thank you, man.
Well, we got both players in the lobby. I'm sure we're going to get into introductions for both those guys in just a second. I know pretty much everybody here has got like a lot of fans, even Dream.
Oh, yeah.
The newest guy, I guess, over at SKT. Well, hold that thought. Let's look at this ring. Well, actually, let's not hold that thought. It's a good ring.
That is a sexy ring. It is a sexy ring, Valdez.
Dream, the newest guy, but he's very successful in recent times. He made it to the finals of the most recent SSL, the Neighbor Star League, and he got smashed by Maru, but he had a decent showing up to that moment, beating Life even 4-3. So
that's right. That's right. Your Dream is definitely the new kid on the block when it comes to Terran and in general. Like, he's this rising star that has, he made it to the grand finals of the first Star League, and he's back again, and he's doing fantastic. He's looking fantastic, and I think he could show a lot today, especially up against someone like HyuN to start things off. As we have a quick look at this lovely picture of a lovely lady.
Ooh.
I believe that's on the boot of Jim Raynor. I could be wrong there, Valdez. People have been telling me all sorts of things.
Yeah. Don't believe everything you're told, Moonblade. So make sure you do your own research.
I tried to.
Yeah, very, very good there.
Just deflected that, Valdez.
Bounced right off my armor, just like World of Tanks. Taking a look at the guys who have made it through so far, we got a great lineup here. Maru and Zest, Life and Bill, Stats and Hero. That's like essentially, that's like top 6 in Korea.
Dude, that's everything you could ask for. The only other player that you might miss out on is Parting, but he didn't make it out. He didn't cut it in the PvP group. And now going to Group B, I dare say one of the weaker groups, but still very strong players that can definitely create a lot of problems further down the track, especially Dream, of course.
I'm just really happy that everybody that was supposed to get out did make it out. I think even out of that Protoss group, Parting behind Stats and Hero, I think Stats and Parting very, very equal. I think Parting doing a lot more around the world, but
individually,
Stats recently, especially over in Pro League, doing a great job. And even in individual leagues.
I agree with you there, Velez. He's fantastic, but Stats and Hero make up for that. Yeah, and everyone kind of made it through. Everything has happened perfectly so far.
Yeah, and taking a look at it today, like we mentioned, Dream versus HyuN to start things off. Then Sulky and Classic, TVZ, PVZ. What more can you ask for?
You can't ask for more, Valdez. This is actually the perfect night. It's the perfect Thursday night.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better. because I'm going to be casting with you, Valdez, and we're going to be enjoying these games. We get to see Dream play his perfect matchup. You know, this matchup that, in my opinion, has made him such a popular player, and he's had so much success.
Oh, yeah.
TVZ, this is Dream's match. You know, he fell short against Life in their latest engagement in Kesper Cup, getting cheesed out actually a few times from Life being hyper-aggressive, which was something he was not expecting. But besides that, this guy has looked like a complete beast in macro games in the matchup. His Bio, Thor, Mine compositions are just doing fantastic. He knows how to position them perfectly.
He was the guy that, I'm not sure if it was against Life or which Zerg it was against, but he had like incredible floor micro in and out of the medevacs, right, in that TVZ. I remember in early, I think it was last season of SSL even, me and you were casting, we were watching that, we were just like stunned by how good this guy's TVZ was.
Yeah,
that's the big thing, why going up against HyuN, you know, he's had some decent results. He went over to DreamHack, he got to the semifinals against Parting, right, went down to him, but I think Dream is just on another level here.
Yeah, well, you know, DreamHack or StarLeague, these things are pretty different in terms of competition. Stacked full of Korean pro gamers right here that have been practicing in their hometown for so long. And as we can see, this was actually a week ago. DreamHack was a week ago, and before that was G-Infinity a week before that, fellas. This guy has been in Europe for quite some time. He hasn't had decent practice. His practice has essentially been tournaments. So coming into this, I'm kind of worried for him. I'm not entirely sure what he could actually get done against a tyrant like Dream.
Oh, yeah. Going into a best-of-3 against this tyrant, as you're saying. We talked to him briefly before his match. He said, I'm going to upset today. We'll see if that confidence will pull him through.
As he said that, I embraced him and said, good luck.
Good luck, buddy. Yeah, just taking a look at more stats here. Some interesting stats.
Yeah, I mean, we got stats here. This is how they got to where they are now. He beat Losira in the Challenger, HyuN. And Dream, you know, he was in the grand finals of Season 1, so he's back again. And we got to kind of look at their percentages down there. Obviously, not many games to go by because these are simply from, I'm guessing, Season 1.
SSL. Yeah, okay.
So it's essentially like, we're going to have to wait for like 10 more of these before they kind of come relevant, I think, Valdez.
You know how in school they used to ask you to read the directions first before you got into it? That's what I got to do with some of these CGs. Like it says SSL stats on top.
Yeah.
So that's what we got to get into. These stats are since December. So this is overall. This is actually a decent amount of stats. And overall here, Dream 50% against Zerg. Of course, he is fighting the hardest region. A lot of those are best of ones, so interesting stats there. Very good stats actually against Protoss, 13 and 4.
Yeah, that's actually fantastic. I know recently he was doing really well against Protoss, and I'm sure that'll come into play today against Classic later on.
Yeah, and definitely TVT by far his worst matchup, I think a lot of people will say. Here for HyuN, he's played one best of 5 against Losira, I believe.
Yeah, that would
get through
in the Challenger of this season. So he's won 3 games. He got a 100% win rate against Zerg. Doesn't say much.
Yeah, we need to see more of this guy out here in Korea against the big guys. I want to see what he can do against Dream. Can he actually upset Dream? He has his own confidence, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. And here we go. Here is today's maps. Barney Research Station, Overgrowth, King Sejong Station are the order. Nice maps, interesting maps. You know, Barney Research Station. Dream is not really the Terran to kind of dabble in mech play, but you never know, Valdez. Maybe today's the day.
Could be. Could be.
Actually, every single map is a good mech map, mind you.
It's very true. Keep in mind, not the exact same map pool that we get from round 3 of Pro League, just a little bit different here. Still got Sejong and Overgrowth. We'll be seeing those today. And as you mentioned, Bonnie Research Station, the first map. Expecting Dream to do well, but can HyuN upset this guy?
I'm excited. Let's see. He's got an interesting style. Let's see if he brings it into this match and throws Dream off.
Well, guys, let's jump right into it. Tell your friends, get them into the stream. The players are loading up, and we're going into game number 1 right now. Down here in the south, in the blue, our Terran player from SK Telecom T1, the favorite in this matchup. It is Dream.
And up here in the top, we do have the Zerg player, HyuN.
What?
I forgot his team name, so I just went for HyuN, but it sounded weird. I'm sorry.
I enjoyed it.
Rokat HyuN. A little bit better.
They gotta hire you for all this stuff,
Dude,
man.
I'm practically the same, right?
Yeah, I think you're better, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You got potential, man. You just gotta practice more.
I'm gonna keep practicing my accent more than anything else, I think.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one, that one.
Yeah.
All right, look at where this Rax is to start things off. It's actually in the north of this main base.
Ooh.
So it no doubtly will be a Reaper, and it will just have a little bit more of a little less space to jump down and go straight for the main of HyuN's.
It's like getting that Reaper to the base of HyuN 0.5 seconds faster or something. Very, very small detail, but I like it.
That's a cute little sort of play there. Oh.
Oh, hello.
Oh, we got some fans in the audience.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, guys. They're actually here pretty early, Valdez. Normally the studio doesn't fill out for a little while longer.
Yeah, that's very true.
Very committed fans.
Definitely.
I love the passion.
Coming down every day this week.
Whoa. Yeah, we actually, this is the first time we've seen him on camera, though. How about that?
Very nice.
Now, HyuN went for a 15 pool.
Just trying to play safe, I guess, in game number 1.
He's trying to play a little cheeky beaky there, in my opinion, Valdez. Let's see what he does with these. Is he going to make some lings, or just simply to get that queen out a little bit earlier to avoid any sort of early Reaper shenanigans?
Looks like that. I think you would have seen if there were a 2-Rax coming his way already. And he's going to make 2 lings as well, just to be a little bit safe. But, of course, he does get that base down in the back door. We sometimes see the Zergs on this map going for the outdoor base, just to get that creep spread a little bit quicker. But HyuN deciding to go straight for that back door, wants to keep it very safe in this first game.
Yeah, the outside base is definitely a little bit more vulnerable. So I can appreciate going for the pocket one first. Just get your economy up nice and safe. Could mean that we do see a bit of a 2-base opener as well from HyuN. Maybe quick Mutalisks, or maybe simply he's going to go for maybe Roaches, actually. HyuN's been this kind of Zerg that likes to go Roaches, even against Terran. He likes to make them a lot. In the olden days, maybe like a year or 2 ago, he'd be famous for just simply going Mass Roach Hydra, which is pretty much something no one else would do. And it is a pretty flawed sort of composition when it gets to the late game especially, but until then, it can do some work.
Liking the protection of the base here from HyuN. Dream committing to 3 Reapers in total. Going to try to jump up into that base, but so far already 2 Queens out and 6 Lings. So no hope for Dream to get in the base.
Yeah, not yet. And look at this. Still gasless as well from HyuN, mind you. This is definitely the HyuN style. He loves to go gasless in both ZVZ as well as ZVT, and it does make you kind of vulnerable on a lot of maps, especially to multiple Reaper harassment like we are seeing right now. Ooh. Oh! Somehow does not lose that 1 HP Reaper.
Wow.
And HyuN, we're just seeing simply go Mass Drone and a lot of Queens to kind of get the creep spread out there. Not a bad idea considering this. It's going to be a little tricky to get that creep spread down in that 3rd base. Try and zone out those Reaper Hellions on the map.
The thing that says to me is, like, not even only that he wants to play very safe in this early game, but also that he's very confident in his late game. He's like, okay, as long as I can get there, maybe I can go toe-to-toe with Dream. But I love what Dream's doing at the same time, just throwing down a quick 3rd CC, getting very greedy back at home.
Very greedy. The Overlord sees all, obviously. As you can pretty much do when you do see multiple Reapers on the map, you know there's not going to be any Marines. That barracks is going to be used for add-ons more than anything else for the factory and Starport. And there's that 3rd base. Very smart from HyuN. He knows he's got some time to simply be greedy, expand. He just has to avoid any sort of run-bys, and he'll be good. And he might even get a cancel on this, actually. Dream!
Oh my god.
He's going to commit to the drone, just slow everything down.
This is so bad for HyuN, actually. He was trying to get those Queens out there, but there was no creep spread. Something we talked about earlier. Once you get that outside base, you get that creep spread much quicker, but yeah, he's going to have to put it down once again, but delayed for so long and only losing 1 Reaper.
Yeah. And we haven't actually seen any sort of commitment. There we go. Stim finally started for Dream, so it will be the bio. He might have just been waiting for the Overlord to try and get out of position. He is making a Viking from that starport as well. No Banshee commitment just yet.
Well, he does see that upgrade coming on that barracks. So
yeah.
he should have some idea what's coming from Dream.
Yeah, he should have a fairly good idea at this point.
Oh, but he does go into ranged upgrades here.
Yeah, we are going to see that Roach style once again from HyuN. The classic Roach style. Let's see if he goes, how far does he go with this? Is he ever going to transition to Muta, or is he simply going to stay, on Roach, go into Hydra, then Viper, and play from the late game there? I kind of worry about it on this map specifically because of that pocket natural and how vulnerable that is to mass bio drops. And it just gets that much more vulnerable if you're only got Roach Hydra to defend.
Yeah. Loving the harass here from Dream, trying to cancel a creep tumor, getting some damage done, kills a queen as well. Not losing much for it. He's had this Viking out on the map too, getting, I believe, a couple of kills on some overlords, clearing out that vision.
That very important vision. Vision probably more important than ever in this kind of situation when you are going for a heavy ground army on such a drop powerful map.
Dream committing heavily to the micro there. He actually misses a couple of depots. Was supply blocked at both, I think, 66 and 75 or so.
Yeah, a little bit off. He had to use one of those cooldown supplies.
Yeah. Meanwhile, HyuN makes like 9 overlords. Goes up to like 92 of 142.
Yeah, well, that's probably simply because of that Viking just doing work on the map, clearing everything out, making it very awkward. Overseer gets a very important scout, sees a tank as well. So he knows that Dream knows.
What do you think about this style, actually? Bio-tank instead of bio-mine?
I like it against Roaches, for sure. Roaches, I think that's very powerful start. Obviously, later it gets, and when Vipers get on the map, it won't be as strong. And I'm sure we'll see more of a bio composition, less about tanks. But for now, to secure this third base especially, very smart. Because it's not going to be easy defending against 1-1 Roaches just with bio.
Oh, yeah. And that tank down there above on the ledge, but it's not in position actually to protect this third base, so he's going to force a lift. And already HyuN, even though he's not killing a lot of units, doing some damage here. And buys himself a lot of time and space to put down the fourth base, too. Yeah,
that's right. He's bought a time for this. And we are seeing him actually go into Spire and +1 Ling. So behind this, he's simply going to stabilize and go just into Mutiling Bane, which I think is a fantastic idea. Very, very smart. It's slowing down the Terran economy so much. It's forcing the Terran to invest into the tanks. No one wants to make tanks against Ling, Muta, Bane. It's such an old school, redundant sort of composition. But you have to against this many Roaches.
Once again, the macro slipping a bit here for Dream. Puts down that armory very late after the 1-1 finishes. Not exact there. Just going to hurt him a little bit.
He's getting very thrown off by this style, I think.
I just love the pressure that HyuN's putting on, just with this kind of uncommon play that we're seeing from him. Very refreshing.
All right, let's see how many mutas get pumped out here. He doesn't really have the gas for it just yet. He's only actually on 5 gas out of the potential 6. So not the most efficient gas mining, so it's going to take a little while longer for these mutas to come out. Instead, deciding to make a lot of Banelings.
Dream now finally trying to buy himself some space with some drops, and he will push the army units back, but it's going to be totally defended at least at the pocket natural. There's another one going towards that fourth base, but the rest of HyuN's army pretty close to it. And this Overlord should see it. Yeah,
he should definitely see it. He's going to force the army to move over that way. Very smart thing from Dream would be to try and cut off the creep spread. Obviously, probably extremely, extremely important for Roach Ling Bane. Such a pretty slow, clunky composition compared to Mutiling Bane. If you can get rid of the creep spread on the map, it's going to do a lot of favors going into the mid-game here.
We see Corruptors coming out instead of Mutas. He's going to go up to 6 total. Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Mismicring that. Another drop coming in the back, and this medevac being hit on by those 2 Corruptors. Very close to dying, and there's only 1 scan out here. So Dream really not finding much damage at all.
No, he's definitely not finding much work on the map. Taking a lot of surprising losses there. I think maybe that drop with behind the third base was on purpose to try and get rid of Banes, maybe? I'm not sure. Let's pretend that happened.
Let's pretend he did it on purpose.
That was like genius. But yeah, both players getting near max. Obviously, HyuN is maxed out. Dream, though, not far behind. 180 supply. It's just about finding that perfect composition to deal with this kind of army, because it's never going to be an easy fight. But if you've got enough tanks, if you've got enough Widow Mines, you can deal with this.
Looks like HyuN wanting to hit that timing before the 2-2 finishes for the Terran. And he's got a decent amount of time. He's got a lot of Banelings morphing right now. And what does Dream have? He has a couple of tanks and just bio back here, finally adding some Widow Mines in. Yeah,
here we go. It's going to be a huge engagement. Definitely not cost efficient for HyuN, though. He's really choking up on the barracks. And so much damage.
And a lot of those Banes he was morphing earlier on were not in the fight. You see them in the back there.
Yeah, 16
doing absolutely
of those
no damage.
Completely useless there. That's not a good fight. That's not a good way to engage a Terran. Terran, the most defensive race. If you're going to simply run headfirst into a Sim City like that, you're just going to get bopped. And he is down 30 supply right now.
He lost so many Banes there in that little engagement. A lot of Lings coming now, but I think he's in big danger of losing this fourth base.
Here we go again. It's like HyuN's going to try and engage, but that's so many Zerglings and not enough Banelings for this composition. Ugly fight Valdez, but can he actually pull through? Nice spread for Dream.
Yeah, really nice spread. You see that big bio ball on the top left and the rest of them in the back. Some more Banelings pulling through, but again, nice splits here from Dream, and I think he's going to be able to take this one.
Yep, 50 supply up, going to crash down in this fourth base. I don't think there's any coming back for HyuN from here. His composition is just too... It's too weak against what we see from Dream right now.
Yeah, he's desperately trying to get out some more Banes, but he's lost a ton of drones over at the fourth base, plus the fourth base. And now getting behind, delaying the mining of the third. Gets a nice scan down, sees exactly what HyuN has, can easily split here. Marauders in the front, and oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, Valdez. Everything getting wiped out. GG.
So,
a dangerous game, but Dream crushes him just the same. You know, at one point it was looking pretty iffy. If perhaps HyuN stayed on the map a little bit longer, less about trying to crash into a well-fortified third base with decent SimCity, good splash, and Widow Mines and tanks, maybe he could have had a chance. But Dream, you know, he just held tight and counterattacked and crushed base.
Dream, I feel like just picking up an easy game. You know, he wasn't able to find the damage in that game that he really needed. HyuN was doing a very nice job through the mid game, but he pretty much threw it all away in that one fight. Yeah. And Dream was like, oh, okay. And then it's 2-2 hit, and HyuN didn't have +2 for his Ling, so he's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I will just go crush you.
Yeah, interesting sort of decision-making from HyuN especially. You know, one thing we haven't really spoken about is, well, I guess we kind of mentioned it before, but the jet lag could be real right now. It could be a very relevant thing in this match and today. He's only been in Korea for probably 3 days, I'd have to say.
Oh, yeah.
That is not enough time.